I will say this though. What do you think about the Cassidy? That's her name, right? Cassie. Cassie versus Chrisean aspect of it. Meaning that when Chrisean was going through what she was going through, and we had video, they made a show out of it actually on Zeus Network. Shout out or not to them. They made a show out of what Chrisean Rock was going through, and now Diddy gets crucified for what she going through. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with that, but I feel like it's a point to talk about as far as the dichotomy in that public perception of how people treated that relationship versus how people treating this one.
Well, I know. I mean, I really wasn't keeping up with all that. I really not in my algorithm. But remember when we first, this is on the podcast. I don't remember what number, but I said this. They had one of their little altercations on video. The first thing I said is, that chick is abused. I'm like, she's an abused woman. At some point, it's going to come out. It's a lot going on there because I can see how she act. Like, women who go through them kind of situations, it's certain ways eventually you're going to see in they characteristics with just how they carry things. I'm like, that woman's abused, bro. And it's like, that as a man, like, that's hard when you know a woman that went through them kind of things and you can't help her because she don't see the problem in it. I felt strong about that then when we talked about Chrisean. A lot of people felt sorry for her, but then at the same time, she'll get into the little toxic mood too because she's trying to match the energy versus get the help she needs. And now she's so aggressive, and then it's like, now it's entertaining to people. Or they both just be wilding out. People think it's entertaining. No, people need help. Like, that's a traumatic situation. So, yeah, it's a lot worse now when you seeing it from a different angle, but it should have been the same for both. People should have felt the same way and felt strong about both.
And with that being said, it was definitely people who were feeling that way, but I was just bringing up the difference between us watching a show of that and then watching this video where it's like, well, we didn't expect that. And I think the difference is her aggression. Like, you know what I'm saying? You were saying sometimes for lack of a better word or lack of a better understanding, some people were saying, I'm not gonna speak on the comments how I would feel. I thought that even if she's being that aggressive and stuff like that, I shouldn't be in this relationship if that's the person that she is. So I feel like he should have been left. We shouldn't monetize this. We shouldn't be making a show out of this. We shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, let's go back and forth. And then why is, he did take some heat. But I guess, you know what? It's the same. It's the same because I guess he did take the same kind of hit on his public perception. But just because he's not as big as Diddy would be,
Diddy is like,
that's probably why it doesn't seem that because it's not as magnified. But he definitely still took a hit to his slight image that he had. So I will say that.
That energy needs to be the same across the board. If you against DV, you got to be against DV at all times. Like, as a man who's been in relationships, I've been in relationships where I've had women, get mad. They put their hands on me. They slap me. They push you. They throw stuff at you, all that stuff. Like, now looking at that stuff, bro, if you put your hands on me, I'm just going to be done with you because there's no win for me to respond to that. I'm not finna get overly aggressive and put my hands back on you. You're basically being abusive. You're being abusive. And we got to start looking at abuse as abuse across the board.
Exactly.
Male, women, it doesn't really matter. You have to hold people to a standard and hold people to accountability. And, like, if you're going to be upset about Cassie, you should be upset when you're seeing it with Chrisean. You should be upset if you're seeing the woman attack the man, too. Like, you got to start being equal around the board because what you don't want to do is put your hands on the man and he just have a reflex moment.
Yeah.
You don't even, you know what I'm saying? There's no win to that.
But still, like, I'm still I still stand in the category that even as a man, you can't have your reflex moments with women. You just kind of got to know. As a man who's been hit by a woman, I won't tell y'all for what for. Yes, it was my fault. I probably shouldn't have DM'd that girl and got caught, but whatever. But when I got hit, it wasn't my reaction to be like, oh, I got to hit her back. Like, it was like,
But that's you.
Yeah,
not everybody is you.
You're right.
I've been hit so many times by chicks. Like, now I will never let a chick put their hands on me. Like, you do it to me now, like, I'm just done with you. I ain't gonna
that's what it is. It's like, I'm not finna stay in this relationship, but I'm also not finna
But the same token, everybody ain't gonna react how we might react.
Yeah.
So you do it to the wrong person. The natural reaction of a man, if somebody put their hands on us, is to fight back. That's just the natural reaction of a man. If you put your hands on me, most times I might be like, man, get out of here or whatever. But it might be a time, maybe I ain't in the mood for it. And I might just have a natural reaction. But pow, it might just happen. I've never had it happen, but I can understand how it's some guys that probably don't need as much pushing as others.
That's
Keep
because
your hands to
they stayed way past all the red flags. That's all.
Yeah,
You knew she was wild. You knew she can get crazy. You knew she could flip out, and you chose to be like, you know what?
That stuff is not cool.
I'm gonna stay here anyway. So
not cool. Like
and I'm blaming the dude when I say this. That's your fault, bro.
even for the ladies,
you should have left the first time she put her hands on you.
If your man put his hands on you the first time, if he go to grabbing on you too aggressively, hey, that's your cue. Like, don't be trying to make it work. Don't be trying. Oh, he just was upset. Nah, get up out of there. Like all abuse. Like, get up out of there.